Respect every hour, it will not return. We often move through our days as if time is an unlimited gift, as if every sunrise guarantees another chance, another opportunity, another moment to fix what we ignored yesterday. But the truth is far more delicate. Time is a visitor that never stays. Once an hour leaves your hands, it is gone forever. You cannot chase it, you cannot beg for it, you cannot negotiate with it. That is why respecting every hour is one of the deepest forms of self-love and one of the strongest signs of discipline. When you respect an hour, you understand its value. You see it as a building block of your future, not just another part of the day. 1 hour can change your health, your work, your relationships, your mindset, or your financial life, depending on how you use it. It can push you forward or pull you back. It can open a door or close one, and the difference always comes from how conscious you are about that time. Most people waste hours without even noticing. They scroll endlessly, talk pointlessly, worry unnecessarily, and delay important things repeatedly. Then they say life is unfair, success is difficult, or opportunities are limited. But success is not usually limited. It is simply locked inside the hours we waste. Opportunities are not missing, they appear inside the hours we ignore. A person who disrespects their hours eventually disrespects their own dreams without realizing it. Respecting every hour means becoming aware of how you spend your time. It means choosing what matters over what feels good in the moment. It means cutting off distractions that steal your focus, people who drain your energy, habits that kill your progress, and routines that keep you stuck. It means asking yourself simple but powerful questions. What am I doing right now? Why am I doing it? Is this moving me forward or holding me back? When you begin to see every hour as a small piece of your destiny, your behavior changes naturally. You become selective, you become intentional, you stop living on autopilot. You start to protect your mornings because you understand mornings shape your mindset. You start to guard your nights because nights shape your discipline. You start giving your best effort even in small windows of time because you know that consistent effort compounds. Respecting your hours also teaches you gratitude. Every hour you live is a gift many people never received. Every breath, every moment, every chance to improve yourself is something to be thankful for. When you learn to value your time, you automatically start valuing your life. You stop comparing yourself to others because you know your journey depends on what you do with your time, not what someone else does with theirs. You stop complaining because you realize complaining only steals more hours. You stop waiting for perfect conditions because you understand that waiting is the biggest time thief of all. There will be moments when respecting every hour feels difficult. Your mind will try to pull you back into old habits. Comfort will whisper excuses. Procrastination will tempt you with later. But if you remind yourself that each hour is a one-time gift, you'll find the strength to use it wisely. You'll realize that your future is not built in one big day. It is built in small hours spread across months and years. Every hour you respect becomes a brick in the foundation of the life you dream about. When you truly respect time, time begins to respect you. It starts giving you clarity, progress, momentum, and results. It reveals possibilities you couldn't see before. It shapes you into someone stronger, someone disciplined, someone capable of rising above distractions and excuses. Respect every hour. It will not return. Small daily habits build big results. We often look at successful people and imagine that their achievements came from huge efforts, dramatic changes, or powerful moments of transformation. But if you look closely, greatness almost never comes from one big decision. It comes from the small choices a person makes every single day. The tiny habits that seem ordinary, the simple routines that look unimportant, the quiet discipline that happens in private. These are the things that create extraordinary outcomes over time. A small habit is like a single drop of water. On its own, it looks meaningless, but drops collected over days, months, and years can fill oceans. In the same way, small daily habits slowly create the structure of your future. Reading 10 minutes a day builds more knowledge than trying to study for hours once in a while. Saving a small amount of money every day creates long-term stability, while waiting to save large amounts rarely happens. Working out for 30 minutes a day builds a stronger body than going hard for one day and then quitting for weeks. Small habits don't just change your routine, they reshape your identity. The power of small habits lies in consistency. Anyone can make a big effort for a short time, but very few people stay committed to small actions for a long time. That is why small habits produce results that most people never achieve. They don't overwhelm you. They don't drain your energy. They don't require you to fight against your whole environment. They simply require you to show up every day, even on the days when you don't feel like it. Small daily habits also protect you from procrastination. When a task is small, you cannot convince yourself that it is too difficult or too time-consuming. You cannot hide behind excuses. Small habits remove the mental weight that stops people from beginning. You may not be able to change your whole life in one day, but you can definitely drink more water, walk for 10 minutes, write 1 page, practice a skill for 5 minutes, reflect for 2 minutes, or choose one healthy meal. These small steps slowly break the walls of laziness and self-doubt. Another beautiful thing about small habits is that they build momentum. When you complete one simple habit, you feel a sense of progress. Momentum grows from small wins. One win pushes you to take another step. One completed task makes you feel capable of doing the next. Slowly, these tiny victories build confidence, which becomes the fuel for bigger goals. People don't lack talent. They lack momentum, and momentum is created by consistency, not intensity. Small habits also help your mind stay focused. They create structure in your day. When you have routines, your brain stops wasting energy on deciding what to do next. Habits turn actions into something automatic. This frees your mind to think deeper, work smarter, and stay calm under pressure. Over time, your habits become your lifestyle, and your lifestyle becomes your strength. Small habits also teach patience. In a world where everyone wants fast results, small habits remind you that true progress requires time. They train you to trust the process. You learn that growth is slow but steady. You understand that the seed must stay underground before it becomes a tree. You stop expecting overnight success and start respecting long-term effort. This patience keeps you consistent when others quit too early. The people who build great lives are not the ones who suddenly change everything. They are the ones who change one small thing and keep doing it until the habit becomes a part of who they are. Small habits slowly change your beliefs. You stop seeing yourself as someone who fails and start seeing yourself as someone who follows through. You stop doubting your abilities and start believing that you can shape your own life with discipline. Small habits are the quiet builders of big achievements. They may feel invisible today, but they will become unforgettable tomorrow. They may feel slow now, but they will become powerful later. They may start small, but they end up creating a life you once only dreamed about. Focus beats motivation. Most people wait for motivation to appear before they start working on their goals. They wait for a spark, a mood, a perfect emotional push that makes everything feel easy, but this mindset keeps people trapped for years. Motivation is like weather, it changes every day. Some days it's bright, some days it's dull, and some days it's completely missing. If your success depends on motivation, then your life will always be unstable, but focus is different. Focus is a decision, not a feeling. When you choose focus, you control your actions even on the days motivation refuses to show up. Focus means knowing exactly what matters and protecting your attention from everything else. When you focus, you remove noise, You shut down distractions, and you give your mind a single direction. Motivation is emotional, but focus is logical. Motivation lasts a few minutes, but focus can last a lifetime. Motivation pushes you slightly, but focus pulls you forward with clarity. That is why people who rely on focus win consistently, while people who rely on motivation win only occasionally. Most people lose their success, not because they are weak, but because they are distracted. They try to do many things at once. They chase too many goals. Their energy is scattered, their attention is broken, and their mind keeps jumping from one thing to another. Without focus, even the strongest effort becomes weak, but with focus, even small effort becomes powerful. When your energy is concentrated, your results multiply. Focus also teaches discipline. When you decide to focus on something, you train your mind to behave. You learn to delay pleasure, ignore temptations, and stay on track even when your emotions want to run in other directions. Discipline is not born from motivation. Discipline is born from focus. You become disciplined when you choose to work at the same time every day. You become disciplined when you put your phone away during important hours. You become disciplined when you say no to things that waste your time. With every moment of focus, your willpower becomes stronger. Focus also builds identity. When you focus on your work every day, you begin to see yourself differently. You stop calling yourself lazy or inconsistent. You begin to recognize your own potential. You start believing that you can finish things, you can stay committed, you can rise above distractions. This belief becomes a powerful engine that pushes you even further. Motivation might give you excitement for a moment, but focus gives you identity for life. Another important thing about focus is that it simplifies your world. When you focus on one or two goals, you remove pressure from your mind. You stop feeling overwhelmed. You stop worrying about too many things at once. You stop comparing yourself to others because you are too busy building something real. Focus replaces chaos with clarity, fear with direction, and confusion with purpose. Focus also creates mastery. When you give long periods of attention to one skill, one dream, or one mission, you become exceptional at it. Skills do not grow with emotion. They grow with repetition, and repetition requires focus. You cannot master a craft if you keep switching paths. You cannot build a successful channel, brand, business, or body if you keep stopping and starting. Mastery belongs to the focused, not to the motivated. Focus builds long-term momentum. When you focus every day, your work compounds, small achievements stack up. Progress becomes visible, confidence increases, people start noticing your growth, your results begin to speak louder than your words. This momentum becomes so strong that even on days when you feel low, the force of your past focused work keeps you moving. Momentum created through focus is far more powerful than any short burst of motivation. Remove distractions to protect your time. Every person in this world is given the same 24 hours, but the difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is often one thing: distractions. Distractions are like silent thieves. They do not make noise. They do not show warnings. They do not break your doors. They quietly enter your day, steal your hours, and leave you wondering why you achieved so little. Time is already limited, but distractions make it even shorter. That is why protecting your time is not just a habit, it is survival. Most people underestimate how powerful distractions are. A 5-minute scroll becomes 20 minutes. A quick chat becomes half an hour. One unnecessary outing becomes a whole evening. Small interruptions break your focus, and once your focus is broken, your mind takes long to return to full attention. These tiny losses pile up until your whole day is gone without real progress. You feel tired but not fulfilled, busy but not productive, moving but not advancing. This happens because distractions control you instead of you controlling them. Distractions don't always look harmful. Sometimes they look like entertainment. Sometimes they come disguised as friends who waste your time. Sometimes they appear as notifications, gossip, useless conversations, social media loops, or habits that give instant pleasure but long-term regret. The dangerous part is that they feel harmless in the moment, they feel small, but small distractions create big damage. They break your discipline, your flow, your planning, and eventually your dreams. Protecting your time means taking responsibility for what enters your day. It means being honest with yourself about what steals your focus. It means choosing long-term goals over short-term impulses. When you remove distractions, you create space, mental space, emotional space, creative space, space that allows growth, space that allows clarity, space that allows real work to happen without interruption. Removing distractions also requires courage. You need courage to walk away from people who drain your energy, courage to say no without guilt, courage to cut off platforms, apps, or habits that slow you down. Courage to choose silence over noise. Not everyone will understand your boundaries, but those boundaries are necessary. You are not being rude, you are being responsible with your life. When you protect your time, you begin to see changes. Your mind becomes clearer, your emotions settle, your productivity increases. You start feeling in control instead of feeling lost. You start seeing results instead of excuses. You start noticing how much you can achieve when your attention is not scattered all over the place. A distracted mind moves in circles. A focused mind moves forward. Removing distractions also strengthens your self-respect. When you protect your time, you are telling yourself, my goals matter, my future matters, my growth matters. You begin to treat your hours like something valuable instead of something cheap. You stop giving your time to people who don't appreciate it. You stop wasting energy on things that don't add meaning to your life. You stop living on other people's schedule and start living on your own. Distractions are not just external. Many times they come from inside, overthinking, worrying, replaying old events, imagining negative scenarios. Internal distractions are powerful because they happen silently inside your head. Protecting your time also means protecting your mind. You must train yourself to return to the present moment, control your thoughts, and avoid falling into unnecessary mental loops. Your inner world must be disciplined if you want your outer world to be successful. When you remove distractions, you create a life where your energy is used wisely, your time is respected, and your goals are prioritized. This does not mean you must be serious every second. It means you must be intentional. You choose when to rest, when to work, when to connect, when to disconnect. You live by decision, not by impulse. You stop allowing the world to control your attention and start mastering your own focus. Start your day with purpose. Every morning is a reset button, a quiet invitation from life to begin again. What you choose to do in the first hour after waking decides the tone, the energy, and the direction of your entire day. Most people open their eyes and fall straight into chaos. They grab their phones, scroll through noise, react to messages, compare their lives, worry about problems, and rush into the day without grounding themselves. When you start your morning without purpose, you spend the rest of the day trying to catch up. But when you begin with intention, everything else becomes easier to manage. A purposeful morning is not about doing a long list of complicated tasks. It is about doing the right things in the right order. It is about telling your mind, your body, and your emotions that today you are in control. Your first actions, thoughts, and decisions create a chain reaction. If your morning is strong, your confidence grows. If your morning is peaceful, your mind stays stable. If your morning is focused, your day becomes productive. Purpose begins with awareness. The moment you wake up, take a second to connect with yourself. Don't rush, don't grab your phone, don't jump into the world. A quiet moment reminds your mind that you are the driver, not a passenger in your life. This small pause builds clarity. It gives your brain a chance to shift from the unconscious state of sleep to a conscious state of direction. Starting your day with purpose also means giving yourself a small win early in the morning. It could be making your bed, drinking water, reading something positive, stretching your body, or planning the top 3 things you want to accomplish. This early win has psychological power. It tells your brain, I am already achieving. That sense of progress becomes the fuel for the rest of your day. You feel more capable, more organized, more disciplined. Purpose also requires simplicity. People often fail in morning routines because they try to do too much. A meaningful morning is not about quantity, it is about consistency. You don't need to run 5 miles, meditate for an hour, and read a whole book. You just need a few intentional actions that align with the person you want to become. A small, simple routine that you repeat every day gives you more stability than a perfect routine that you cannot maintain. When you start your day with purpose, you protect yourself from emotional chaos. The world is full of noise, pressure, and unpredictable events. If you wake up and immediately expose yourself to that noise, your mind becomes reactive. You start fighting the day instead of leading it. But a purposeful morning gives you emotional strength. You become calm, centered, and mentally ready for whatever comes next. Purpose also comes from clarity of goals. Each morning, remind yourself what you are working towards. Remind yourself why your time matters, why your effort matters, why your discipline matters. A clear why gives meaning to every task, even the small ones. It keeps you consistent on days when motivation is low. It helps you avoid distractions because you know your direction. When you start your day with your goals in mind, your actions automatically align with them. Another important part of a purposeful morning is choosing your energy. You decide the emotion you want to carry into the day. Gratitude creates softness. Discipline creates strength. Focus creates progress. Confidence creates courage. When you consciously choose your emotional state, you no longer let circumstances dictate how you feel. You become emotionally independent. This emotional independence is a major part of personal power. Starting your day with purpose also means taking care of your body. A little movement in the morning wakes up your energy, improves your mood, and sharpens your mind. Hydration boosts your clarity. Nourishing your body boosts your stamina. Physical care and mental focus are deeply connected. A strong morning routine strengthens both. A purposeful day begins from a purposeful morning. When the first hour of your day is guided by intention instead of impulse, your entire life slowly shifts. You become more organized, more confident, more productive, and more peaceful. You stop surviving your days and start shaping them. End your day with reflection. The final hour of your day holds quiet power. While mornings set the tone, nights shape your perspective. The world becomes silent, the rush slows down, and your mind finally has space to breathe. Reflection is not about judging yourself or feeling guilty. It is about understanding yourself. It is about looking back at your day with honesty, wisdom, and softness. It allows you to see what helped you grow, what slowed you down, and what needs to change. When you end your day with reflection, you don't just sleep, you evolve. Reflection begins with awareness. Most people carry the entire weight of their day into their sleep. They lie down with stress, regret, unfinished thoughts, and emotional clutter. This mental load drains their energy and weakens their next day. But when you reflect before sleeping, you release that weight. You give your mind a chance to organize your thoughts instead of drowning in them. Your brain naturally processes memories at night, and reflection guides this process. It closes the open loops in your mind and prepares you for a fresh start. Ending the day with reflection also means checking your alignment. Did you live today according to your values, your goals, and the person you want to become? Did you protect your time or let distractions take over? Did you react impulsively or respond intelligently? Did you make decisions from strength or from fear? These questions help you grow without harshness. Reflection is not self-criticism, it is self-guidance. It helps you hold yourself accountable while still being kind to yourself. Reflection makes your progress visible. Many people feel stuck not because they are not improving, but because they do not notice their improvements. When you look back at your day, even small achievements become clear. You realize you were disciplined even when you were tired. You recognize moments where you controlled your emotions. You appreciate the times you chose growth instead of comfort. Seeing these small wins builds confidence, confidence builds consistency, and consistency builds results. Ending the day with reflection also creates emotional stability. Emotions left unprocessed become anxiety the next morning. Thoughts left unorganized become confusion. Regrets left unchecked become self-doubt. But when you reflect, you allow your emotions to settle. You understand why you reacted a certain way. You learn from your mistakes instead of carrying shame. You forgive yourself for the moments you slipped. You become emotionally lighter, calmer, and more centered. Reflection sharpens your awareness of time. You begin to see clearly where your hours went. You notice which activities drained you and which ones energized you. You notice which people brought peace and which brought stress. You notice which habits improved your life and which habits slowed your growth. When you see these patterns, you can make intelligent adjustments. Reflection turns mistakes into lessons and lessons into upgrades. Another powerful part of nightly reflection is gratitude. When you end your day by appreciating what went right, your heart becomes softer and more peaceful. Gratitude doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be simple: a good meal, a helpful person, a moment of laughter, a task completed, a small step forward. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present. This shift fills your mind with positivity and makes your sleep deeper and more healing. Ending the day with reflection also builds discipline. It becomes a ritual that strengthens your self-control. While others fall asleep scrolling or worrying, you take charge of your inner world. You close your day with intention. This habit trains your mind to live consciously instead of randomly. When you reflect every night, you don't repeat the same mistakes. You don't lose your direction. You don't forget your goals. You live with awareness. When you make reflection a part of your nightly routine, you begin to understand yourself on a deeper level. You start recognizing patterns in your behavior. You become more honest with your choices. You gain clarity about what truly matters. Nights become a time of growth instead of escape. You don't just end the day, you elevate it. Discipline is a daily choice. Many people think discipline is something you develop once and then it stays with you forever. But discipline doesn't work like that. It is not a permanent state. It is a decision you make again and again, every day, in small moments, in quiet hours, and in the parts of your life where no one is watching. It is built in the choices you make when you are tired, when you are unmotivated, when you are stressed, and when taking the easy way out feels tempting. Discipline is choosing your future over your comfort, one decision at a time. Discipline begins the moment you wake up. Do you get out of bed when your mind tells you to sleep a little longer? Do you start your morning with intention, or do you let your impulses take over? These small decisions shape the entire day. Most people imagine discipline as something strict or harsh, but true discipline is a form of self-respect. When you choose the action that aligns with your goals, even when your emotions want the opposite, you are honoring the future version of yourself. You are saying, I deserve better than comfort. I deserve progress. Discipline is also built through repetition. Every time you show up for a habit, you strengthen the part of your identity that sees yourself as a disciplined person. And every time you skip it, you strengthen the part of your identity that believes you are inconsistent. Your brain pays attention to your actions more than your promises. If you repeatedly avoid work, snooze alarms, or run from responsibilities, your brain begins to see that as your truth. But when you show up consistently, even in small ways, your brain starts to believe, I am someone who follows through. That belief is the foundation of lifelong discipline. Another important part of discipline is emotional management. Most people lose discipline not because they are weak, but because they let temporary emotions decide permanent actions. You feel bored, so you stop. You feel anxious, so you avoid. You feel lazy, so you delay. But disciplined people understand that emotions are visitors, not masters. They come and go. They are not reliable guides. Discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It means understanding the difference between your feelings and your responsibilities. Discipline also requires boundaries. You must protect your time, your space, and your focus from anything that tries to pull you away from your goals. This means setting limits with people, with technology, with habits, and with distractions. It means saying no even when saying yes would feel easier. Boundaries are not walls. They are filters that protect your energy from being wasted. When you create strong boundaries, discipline becomes easier because your life becomes simpler and more controlled. Discipline grows when you stay consistent with small tasks. Most people try to be disciplined in big moments but ignore the small ones, forgetting that big success is built from tiny, repeated actions. Discipline in diet means choosing the right meal, one plate at a time. Discipline in fitness means completing one workout at a time. Discipline in business means finishing one task at a time. Discipline in personal growth means staying committed one day at a time. When you conquer the small moments, the big moments fall into place naturally. Discipline is also strengthened by purpose. When you have a clear reason behind your actions, discipline becomes less of a burden and more of a commitment. It becomes something you want to do, not something you force yourself to do. When your goals are meaningful, whether for your family, your future, your career, or your personal transformation, discipline becomes fueled by emotion in a healthy way. It stops feeling like a punishment and starts feeling like a duty you are proud to fulfill. Finally, discipline is built in silence. It happens when no one is clapping for you, when no one notices your effort, when no one celebrates your small wins. It grows quietly, behind closed doors, in early mornings and late nights. It grows in the decisions you make when nobody will know the difference except you. This silent discipline is the strongest kind because it is pure. It is not for show. It is for you, your growth, and your future. Your 24 hours decide your future. Every single day you wake up with a fresh set of hours, and how you use them slowly creates the life you will live tomorrow. People often look at successful individuals and imagine they were lucky or chosen, but the truth is far simpler. They used their hours with intention. They treated each day as a building block, each hour as an investment, each minute as an opportunity. Your future is not shaped by one big moment. It is shaped by countless small moments hidden inside your daily routine. When you understand that your future is built day by day, your relationship with time changes. You stop living casually. You stop waiting for the right moment. You stop letting your mood control your actions. Instead, you begin to value every hour as a tool, something that can either serve you or damage you. It becomes clear that the person who wastes their hours wastes their years, and the person who protects their hours protects their destiny. The hours of your day are like seeds. Some people plant seeds of growth, reading, working, learning, exercising, building. Others plant seeds of distraction, scrolling, gossip, overthinking, laziness, negativity. In the beginning, both types of seeds look the same because results are not visible instantly. But as days turn into weeks and weeks turn into months, the difference becomes huge. The seeds you plant today grow into the reality you live tomorrow. If you plant discipline, you reap progress. If you plant excuses, you reap stagnation. Your 24 hours also reveal your priorities. It is easy to say you want success, fitness, money, peace, or growth, but your hours show the truth. If you spend more time on distractions than on development, your future will reflect that. If you spend more time escaping your problems than solving them, your future will reflect that. If you spend more time dreaming than working, your future will reflect that. Your hours never lie. They tell the real story of your commitment. The beautiful thing about understanding the power of your 24 hours is that it makes life feel more in your control. You realize you don't need to change your whole life at once. You only need to change how you spend today. If you use your hours wisely, day after day, your momentum grows. One productive hour can open doors. One focused day can create breakthroughs. One disciplined week can shift your habits. One committed month can transform your identity. All of this begins with the way you choose to use your 24 hours. Your hours are also connected deeply to your mindset. People with a strong mindset treat time with respect. They don't allow others to waste it. They don't waste it themselves.